Hi, I would like to talk to you today about the 5 dimensions. We are made of 5 dimensions. We have the physical world, the world of action on Earth, what we do in our everyday life to basically survive. This is one dimension. The second is the emotional dimension, which is how we live it, how we get involved into doing things. The love, compassion, emotion, passion is all in the emotion layer. And the mind level is to understand and define ways to interact with reality and with ourselves and with people, with others. So with the mind, we create basically structures to proceed. With the inspiration, it is something that is needed for the greater good that we receive, that we not necessarily listen to, but that we receive. Everybody received that. Absolutely. And the 5th one is our sole purpose here, that we have to know, so that what it brings inner peace. When we know exactly what we are here for in the physical plane, we are actually in peace, and everything is aligned totally perfectly for us to do this purpose. So we all know that without knowing that, because the main thing that we experience, because it's very intense and very deeply felt, it is the physical plane. We understand the physical plane. And in this physical plane, we have all the other dimensions. So basically, the sensation of our body leads to an emotion. This emotion makes us recall of something that we thought of, that we've experienced. What we've experienced coming to our mind and memories, giving images and bringing some kind of closure on something, or we feel pain, goes back to the emotions, or we are trying to psych ourselves up to never live that again. And sometimes we just basically don't know why we live that, so this goes in inspiration, and we wonder why we lived that. And then what did it bring us? So you can see that the 5 dimensions are always existing in us at all time. And the flux of energy to materialize in the physical plane has to go absolutely through the 5 dimensions to integrate into matter. Because I'll give you just a simple example. We may know and feel at peace with our sole purpose, but if it doesn't lead to an inspiration to start something, then it is not integrating to matter. If we are inspired by something, and it makes all the sense, but it doesn't go at the mind level to start a process of, like a structure to make it happen, then it will not happen. So if we go into the inspiration, we feel it from our soul, we see that it's good, we feed the mind starts to think about a nice plan to make it happen, and emotionally, we're not that involved. If that's the case, then it's very, very hard to have the energy, commitment, and involvement to make it happen. So if we go again, if we go, let's say, from inspiration, we go to the mind. And then we have the perfect structure. It sparks our emotions. We are so much into it. And yet, we don't take actions. Then it will absolutely not integrate into matter. So what happens many times, we are like a ping pong ball going all across each dimension. So let's say a guy who's very impulsive. He got an idea, he get emotional and go straight to action. But his procedure is lacking, so then it didn't make out. Nothing happened. Someone who is really computing everything and creating a very nice structure to proceed, and just basically is happy with that, and decides to go and start something from there without being really emotionally involved. What will happen is, many times, when we integrate into the physical plane, we are facing contexts, we are facing resistance, we're having to see the timings, what to do, modifying our plan according to what is happening in the physical plane. And all this requires flexibility, adjustment, and involvement. If we go from the mind straight to the action, we will have a hard time to adapt and make changes that are required. And if we go from inspiration directly to the material world, it will not touch anybody. They will not know how to proceed, but they may feel that there is something there that makes sense. Such as when you hear, if everybody would be peaceful in their heart, all would go very well. But they can't, because they need way much more than that. Only an inspiration is not enough. The inspiration needs a plan, needs a structure, needs involvement, and needs action every day to make it happen. So this is just a little mini video for you to see clearly that we are a 5 multi-dimensions being. Thank you for listening.